What is up, guys? This is Livin van Nesta from the TBA blog slash TBA agency, and today we are going to talk about the AIDA concept. I'm going to break down what the AIDA concept is all about. I'm also going to elaborate what the criticism for the AIDA concept is, what the critics have to say about the AIDA concept. Later on, I will break down the AIDA concept on some advertisement examples. And then you will also see that there is always sort of a blurry line between the different phases of the AIDA concept and the advertisement. So it's always a point of discussion and where we can argue about the purpose of each element. So it's always just about the overall advertisement, how it works, and if it really catches the pedestrians or the viewer's attention. And the AIDA concept are all concepts that are out there for advertisement, for marketing, or just guidelines to help you create a better advertisement. So the AIDA concept is an acronym for attention, interest, desire, and action. AIDA. And those are basically the four phases each customer, each pedestrian goes to in order to become a customer. In marketing and advertisement, we always have to speak about a funnel. So the funnel of catching the pedestrians, the viewer's attention, and then the end of the funnel is sort of the finished sale or the pre-sale, or it really depends on what funnel you are looking at and what the purpose of the funnel is all about. So when we talk about the AIDA concept, we talk about the concept of first getting the attention to creating the final action towards the purchase of the product. Our advertisement, our poster, our campaign, or our imagery now needs to address those different phases the AIDA concept tells us the customer goes through. So we need to create something that grabs the customer's attention. We need to create something that evokes interest, creates desire, and something that can create an action. So with can create an action, so that's mainly providing a name, providing a company, providing the name of the product, the name of the company, the website, a QR code, whatsoever, the price of the product. So providing all these information, all these small detailed information like a price. I don't necessarily need the price of the product, but depending on the product, it is important for my target group to see the price because it's a very important parameter for them to consider purchasing a product over another product. So there are critics that argue that the AIDA concept is outdated because of the way the marketing world evolves, primarily in the digital domain. But I would argue that the concept, how we perceive objects, how we perceive, how we communicate visually and verbally, hasn't changed and won't change in the future. So the idea of us first paying attention to something, then being interested in something, then having the desire towards taking action, and then taking the action is a very normal process that really is applicable or was applicable 50 years ago and is still applicable now and will be applicable in 100 years from now because we won't change, our psyche won't change. But really, what I find interesting is that there is this criticism that the AIDA concept is maybe too narrow, too unflexible for the online marketing world. And obviously, I can't argue against or for that, because I don't have that much information about the online marketing world and what the criticism is, how the AIDA concept may not work in certain situations or maybe work in certain situations. So if you guys want, I can run down that rabbit hole for you and make a whole nother video about why the AIDA concept does work in certain situations, for example, real world advertisement, and maybe doesn't work in some situations for online marketing. So if you guys want, please comment under the video that I should go down that rabbit hole or not. I would love to hear your opinion on that. So let's break down the AIDA concepts for a few advertisements. So to emphasize what the concept is about and what the different advertisements do to tackle the different phases of the AIDA concept, and also what sort of creative operation and creative pattern is used in those advertisements in order to really capture the interest and the attention of the pedestrian or of the one who actually sees the billboard or the poster. So first we have our IKEA advertisement, and as you see in this picture right here, IKEA played with or first of all, the whole premise of the campaign was to advertise the Hemnes, the shoe cabin, in order to organize your shoes better. So obviously the target group were people who had many shoes and who didn't organize them, or who had too many shoes to organize them properly and who had problems organizing them properly. And there we also maybe can talk about the demographic that is more directed towards women than men, because most of the time women have more shoes than men, or at least that's my experience. So the creative operation used in this ad is addition and combination. So they are adding the old shoe inside the very new, maybe lately purchased shoe, and also using the creative operation of combining those. So those are basically two operations that are very prominently used in this ad. And the creative pattern they're also using is exaggeration and slice of life. Exaggeration in that sense that there are so many shoes that there is no other possibility than to stack them. So the person has to actually slip them into each other and try to find fitting pairs for her shoes or for his shoes. So the creative patterns are addition and combination of two very familiar elements, and the patterns are exaggeration. We have this big contrast between these old, greasy, dirty shoes and these new high heels. Also two different styles. We have old dirty Vans, and we have high fashion high heels, newly purchased versus very old. And we maybe have this slice of life pattern that is applied here. So when we come to the AIDA concept, we have the attention grabbing colors, right? So there are very prominent colors used in that picture, contrasted with the very blue or maybe black of the Vans shoe in the middle of the poster. So we have very attention-grabbing imagery. The interest phase of the idea concept, when the customer or how the when the customer has paid attention to the ad, when we have grabbed the attention of the customer, now we have to evoke his interest. And the main reason why this ad creates interest is because it's creative. It's a very creative solution. It's also a very, because it's exaggerating, it's also a very controversial solution to put old dirty shoes inside of new high heels. So it's exaggerating and playing with familiarity with those shoes, with old greasy dirty shoes and new just purchased shoes, and how we also always try to take care of our new shoes so that they don't get dirty. But this person, obviously the person who slipped their old dirty shoes into their new just purchased shoes, has so many shoes that this person maybe doesn't even care, or this person has no other opportunity to organize them than just doing that. So it really grabs the people's attention because they ask themselves what's going on here, and would I do the same? Wouldn't I do the same? Do I have the same problem? And whatsoever. So that's a very attention grabbing theme, overarching theme here. And then we get to the desire part. So after my attention is grabbed, I'm either the person who has that problem in their lives or the person who doesn't. I'm personally the person who doesn't have that problem because I don't have many shoes. I just have one pair of shoes and that's all, and 2 pair of shoes for sports and for everyday, my everyday shoes. But there are some maybe who have more shoes. So maybe this ad applies to them. So maybe they also have the problem of organizing their shoes. Maybe they also have the problem of doing exactly what is displayed here in the image. And this is where the desire is created. So either you are the person who's spoken to and has the same problem, or you're not. And then we have the action. So we have the tagline at the bottom, need space, question mark, and then we have the advertisement of the Nest chair, an Nest cabin for 284 TL. I don't know which currency that is. I don't think it's 250 euros or dollars. It would be way too much for IKEA. So I don't know which currency this is in, but obviously we have the action, we have the product information, we also have the information how expensive it is, because when you are purchasing in IKEA, maybe price is a factor you pay attention to. This is what I do. I always pay attention to the prices of furniture that I purchase. I don't purchase a lot of furniture, but when I do pay attention to the prices. That's why I also go to IKEA. But obviously higher class in high class furniture or fashion or whatsoever, price is not as important as for other brands where price plays a very the primarily role in their business model, because that's why IKEA exists. It's cheap and it's a clever solution. So we have the attention-grabbing imagery by the bright colors, by the simplicity of the poster. That also is very important. We have the interest that is captured by the very creative concept and overarching theme of the poster. We have the desire that is either created or not created, depending on which group of people you are. Or what type of person you are. And then we have the information at the bottom of the ad in order to create or to enable me to take action towards purchasing the product that solves the problem that is presented in this ad. So the second advertisement we are going to speak about is also an IKEA ad. I like IKEA ads because there are very creative IKEA ads out there. So when we look at this, obviously the objective was to market blanket. And we play with a very interesting pattern of replacement and slice of life here. Obviously, the creative operation here is replacement, so replacing the cream or whatever was in that bottle. How do you call that? Bottle, little. So this IKEA ad, we see skin cream or skin gel that is meant for anti-aging purposes. But on the second glance, we see that the containing substance is not skin cream, makeup whatsoever, but a blanket that is sold by IKEA. So we are playing with the creative operator of replacement. So we are replacing the inside of the object with a blanket, and with the creative pattern of form similarity. So we are playing with the similarity of cream and a blanket. We are having, when we jump to the AIDA-Concept, a very attention grabbing image. The image at first glance seems very normal, but at the second glance has a very creative impact on the pedestrian, on the viewer, by having that momentum. They really have that moment of okay, that's what it means. That's what it depicts, not what I first assumed it depicts. So we are breaking a pattern of assumption, right? We are seeing that type of imagery, we are assuming it is makeup or gel or skin cream or whatsoever in there, but then we are recognizing the blanket. So our pattern, or a pattern of assumption now is broken. And we see that, or we can call that a very creative momentum that is very extremely creating interest in, or attention first, and then interest in the product or in the advertisement itself. The desire also, again, is only created if this applies to you. So obviously, for me, for example, anti-aging cream is, I don't actually care about that topic that much, but also obviously I care about sleep, I care about good sleep, but if my attention and interest would be grabbed before the second glance is questionable. So the desire is created. So the desire in a person that is interested in anti-aging cream or anti-aging solutions is created. So now after the attention, interest, and desire, the desire is created, we need the further information to take action. And here in this ad we see the price of the product, we see the naming of the product, we also have a tagline, "Tomorrow starts tonight," which is also a very brilliant tagline, by the way, because it emphasizes the importance of sleep, and that the new day, the new life we can maybe create starts right now, or in the evening. So it's actually a very cool tagline. So that's one, or the second IKEA ad I wanted to show you, which emphasizes the AIDA-Concept, or to emphasize the AIDA-Concept, and to hopefully explain to you guys something about creative concept and creative operations, or creative patterns and creative operations that can really lead to creating well-crafted advertisements. So now I have issue of Lützer's archive here, in which I have also found 3 IKEA ads of the same campaign, with the same concept. I find very, very interesting. What the objective here was to sell furniture of IKEA as masterpieces, so as well-crafted, well-thought of, well-designed pieces that never break, that last for eternity. And what they've done here is actually very genius. and the creative concept. Obviously, and this is what I assume, those pictures are real pictures that exist, that were painted. There were just certain elements in the pictures replaced with the IKEA furniture. But I'm not entirely sure about that because I couldn't find out what those paintings originally were. I assume it's the either addition of IKEA furniture in those pictures. So the creative operation is either addition or replacement. Creative patterns, we have exaggeration because we are exaggerating the meaning of the furniture, the craftsmanship of the furniture of IKEA by placing it into masterpieces of art and telling thereby to the audience or telling pedestrians thereby that the furniture was basically around forever, and is still around and was also used by the higher class of those ages, also as an exaggeration of the quality of their furniture. And obviously, if you are a person that is familiar with those pictures and you assume nothing new about them, and then you get to see the new furniture placed in those pictures, or something of those pictures is replaced with that furniture, you also have that creative momentum again, which really is attention grabbing. So first, here again, we have the attention grabbing imagery. We have the imagery of paintings, of masterpieces. Then we have the interest that is evoked by us realizing, oh, okay, so it's IKEA furniture in those masterpieces, embedded in those masterpieces, us questioning whether IKEA placed those things in those masterpieces or not. Obviously they did, but because it is well crafted, and it is well embedded in those masterpieces, in those pictures, in that art style, it lets us question whether the element that is replaced, so we don't get to see, for example, with the rug, it's not obvious that the rug is a replacement or the rug isn't really part of the original painting. With the armchair, it's more obvious. So with the yellow armchair, it's more obvious that it is obviously a replacement and not what wasn't originally in the painting. But with the mirror, it also lets us question if it was originally in the painting or not, because you also see that reflection of that woman in the mirror itself, which lets us question whether there was a mirror and it was just roughly replaced or whatsoever, or if the painting itself really isn't an old painting. Okay, so as a conclusion, I told you will see that it's a blurry line always with these concepts and always with advertising, because all these concepts are just guidelines to help us create advertisement and to help us advertisements and to help us not forget about important steps. For example, using information that are important for the pedestrian in order to take further actions towards the purchase of the product, or having something that is attention grabbing, but also creating interest and desire for the product itself. I would love to hear your opinion on everything I said in this video. If you have additional things that you would like to tell me about those different posters, if I forgot something, if you totally disagree with something I said, that may also be the case, because I'm certain there are people out there that have much more experience than I do, that have much more knowledge than I do, and just trying to learn here. And I would be happy if you guys would give me your feedback. See you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye.